Hey again, guys. Do you know what I like to do when the hobby is kind of the way it is now? I like to talk about baseball cards. That's right. This is going to be a talking video. I just wanted to go over some of my thoughts on the hobby and on investing. You know, cards are my hobby. It's what I do to get away from my work. I've just never chosen to sell much or get into it, a lot of speculation or try to make money at cards, because when I have a hobby, turning it into a business makes it no longer as enjoyable for me. I mean, it's my hobby to get away from things. That said, I am an avid investor, and I've been investing in the stock market for a long time. It's another passion of mine, but I do that to make extra money in addition to my job. And I want to, just tell you a story because I find there are some comparisons. So when I first started trading stocks, almost every stock I bought, in fact, early on, every stock I bought went up. And I was like, wow, this is easy. I'm doing well. And I had started in the earlier 2000s. And of course, in just a few year period, the stock market was on a little bit of a boom, and it had gone up to 14,500. And everything I bought pretty much went up. And then what happened? The real estate crisis, the stock market collapse, and the market went down to 6,500. And honestly, I wasn't savvy enough at the time to know how to short the market, which I would have done in retrospect, knowing what I know now. And who could predict that it would go that far down? I mean, that was about 1,000 points lower. I might be off by a little bit than it was during the .com crash. And you were hard pressed to make any money at all unless you were short. And so what happened? There were all these day traders who were trading and making money. Day traders, I mean, people were quitting their jobs and day trading, right? After that collapse, you didn't see day traders anymore. That up volatility wasn't there. You can't just make a lot of money in a day without volatility. So they kind of vanished. There were all these books on day trading, and everybody wants to teach you how to do it. And then that just went away. Now we come fast forward to 2020, 21 in the sports card market. A lot of people that are doing investment advice on sports cards on YouTube right now have been doing it for 6 months or a year. They're young people who haven't been through the ups and downs, the booms and the crashes, which are inevitable in any investing endeavor. So they're kind of like where I was when I started buying stocks. I don't care how smart you are, how dumb you are. If you started buying stocks in the last 3 years, you made money. You didn't have to be smart. At this moment, you still don't. If you put money in the market, you're making money. But if you have never lived through a bust where your portfolio goes down 60%, you're not that savvy yet. And so if you never owned a baseball card and 6 months ago you started buying and selling them, you're doing well. And now you want to jump on and you want to tell everybody else how to make that money. We can look at the real estate market. For around a decade, real estate was going up and going up. People were getting interest-only loans because you couldn't lose. You bought a house today, 6 months from now, it was worth more. So what happened? People started flipping homes. You buy a $200,000 condo, sell it for $400,000 in a year, buy a $400,000 place in a year, sell it for $600,000, and they kept doing this. And I know lots and lots of people that kept getting greedier and greedier and flipping. Now you're buying that $1 million house because you can't lose in a month. In a month, it's going to be worth 1.1 million. In 6 months, it might be worth 1.5 million. And what happened? The crash came. And what followed that? Well, your $1 million investment just became worth 700,000 or maybe less. And now you can't pay the mortgage, or you don't want to pay the mortgage because you're paying a loan on $1 million home that's worth 700,000. And so what did people do? They walked away. They just walked away, ruined their credit. And then what did we see? Foreclosures. And the more savvy investors went in and bought these things. You could buy a condo with no fees for 6 months and a free flat screen TV for $93,000. And if you're smart, that's when you bought it, not when it was $500,000. And I see a lot of similarities with what's going on with the card market right now. This is what's happening. You know, people that don't have any experience in cards, never sold cards before, just about whatever they buy, they're selling for a profit. And they're riding around in their Teslas and flashing their Rolexes and telling you what they want, what they make. And meantime, they still live at home and they're making, a few $1,000s. They're making enough to, live or whatever, living at home. But most of them aren't, they're not retiring on this stuff. And then you have the other group of people who are creating it, selling them to their friends and creating these things and, taking advantage of that and selling out and cashing out. Every time a card goes higher and higher, it hits the headlines. Now you can move that card you've been sitting on. It's filled with people who just haven't been in it that long, who are speculators and doing really well right now and think they know everything and have all the answers. But I'm here to tell you that you should be careful. I've been through many booms and busts in the card market. I've been through many booms and busts in the stock market and in real estate. And one thing's for sure, nothing goes like this. Tesla didn't go like this. Google didn't go like this. Amazon was a $1 stock at one time. Apple was a $1 stock at one time. Those things crashed at one time. During the Corona crash, Tesla went down to $135 a share. I know, well, actually 136, because I had a buy order in at 135 and it never hit it. It went to 136 and went right back up to 600. So this is the state of the market. I just wanted to kind of get this off my chest. I started thinking about it. And, right now I called and I was up really big on a few stocks. And I called my broker 2 days ago and I said, it's just, I'm up a lot. I don't want to be greedy. And this market can't stay here. And, he's telling me how, it could stay. And I'm like, it's going to 100,000. It'll never go down again. Market's going to 100,000. You should invest that way. But savvy investors buy low and sell high. It takes a certain mindset to buy high and wait for it to go higher. And I'm not saying that doesn't work. It works for a while, or sometimes works long term, right? Like if you bought Tesla at 500 and the market crashed and it went to 135, and this go round, it didn't take that long to recover, and you could eventually get your money back too. But not everybody has the appetite for these swings. I remember I bought Amazon at $200, but it didn't go immediately up to where it is now. The market was bad at that time. And when times go bad and you have to wait and wait and wait for them to turn around, we call that opportunity cost, right? You might have a stock and it's a fabulous company, but nobody wants the stock. This happened to me with Starbucks. It was collapsing. Everybody thought that, McDonald's announced they were going to sell coffee and everybody thought that they were going to hurt Starbucks' business. Well, I was like, no way. No way are the Starbucks people who like to go there and play on their laptops going to McDonald's. That ain't happening because Starbucks is a cult, kind of like Tesla is. And so I loaded up on that sucker. It went down to $7. I had a couple thousand shares averaged in at $17. And I had to wait 3 years for it finally go back up to 80. And, but sometimes you sit that long and it doesn't go back up that much. And so whatever money you invested there, there's an opportunity cost. How much other money could you have made sitting on that for 3 years on that amount of money? So that happens as well. You know, cards and investing are both passions of mine, but cards are my hobby. I invest to make money. And I just want to tell you that if you're new to the industry, if you're new to trying to flip cards, be careful, because, the market can turn like that. We've all seen it. Anybody that's invested in stocks over the last 30 years has seen it. In one day, you can be really depressed in one day. And that's just how investing works. I don't care what you're investing in. The art market was booming for a while, then it came down, and now the card market is booming. It's I see it on CNBC and Fox Business News when I'm looking at stocks. They are interviewing people and they're talking about these auctions, and now people are selling partial shares in cards. And what happens when that comes out? It draws a lot of unscrupulous people, and different things happen. And then it draws out all the experts that want to sell you on their ideas. Now, let me tell you something. You don't see Warren Buffett doing infomercials telling you how to invest, even though he's like the best investor that ever lived. People who make a killing doing what they're doing, they're not out there to tell you how to do it. And even if it worked for them, maybe you don't have the savvy. Maybe you don't have the God-given luck to be as good as they are at it. It's always the people who they're telling you how to do it or selling you things on how to do it to make money. That's how they're making their money. Information selling is one of the biggest businesses in the country. I mean, just look at all these infomercials, right? I mean, you watch late night TV, man, you can get rich overnight. You can get six-pack abs without even working out. You can make your wrinkles go away, grow your hair back. It's amazing. You can get your prostate fixed and not have to pee in the middle of the night. Come on. This is where we are in the hobby right now. And I just wanted to jump on here and, do something I rarely do and just talk. So that's what I have for you now. I did pick up this really cool Earl Campbell autograph. Excited to get that. It's a shame he doesn't have more cards. But I'm going to go look at some baseball cards right now. And once again, thanks for watching.